Well, it's a big deal. The question is, can the FTC really do anything? They're much more understaffed than the tech companies, and of course, this is a huge amount of acquisitions, hundreds of them. Just since 2011, even the big ones, Google's bought Motorola, Nest, Waze, Dropcam, Oyster, Fitbit. Facebook's bought, obviously, Oculus. It's bought Lenovo. It's bought Instagram. Apple has bought Chomp. It's bought Beats. Amazon's bought Whole Foods and Kiva. Those are just the big ones. And then there's hundreds of others that they bought just to sort of round out their entire feature set that they have at each of these companies. So it's a lot of work to figure out what they're going for. I think the idea is that these companies have zeroed out innovation by sort of sucking up every new innovative company and integrating it into their businesses.
Who should be most worried?
You're looking at it depends on what they look at. These big acquisitions like Whole Foods or Fitbit. Each of them have. I think the least worried probably should be Apple. It makes a lot of small acquisitions that are features into its software and its services and its devices. I suspect Facebook with Oculus and Instagram, probably Facebook and Instagram. I'd worry if I were Amazon. It bought a company called Kiva that people don't really know a lot about, which is very integral to its logistics. And it bought Twitch for $1 billion in 2014. Mm-hmm. And Google's bought a ton of companies. Excluded from this are obviously two big Google acquisitions, YouTube and DoubleClick, because it was pre this time frame. But each of them have hundreds of acquisitions in here, big and small, and the small ones are just as interesting as some of the ones you've heard about.
Doesn't it make you uncomfortable, just in and of itself, the news itself, that here you have the government looking into big tech yet again, and now we're talking about acquisitions. Before we were talking about something else, and tomorrow we may be talking about something different.
I don't know what makes you uncomfortable. It's a question of why did this go on for so long? Why are these? And of course, there's going to be no acquisitions going forward. None of these companies can afford to, attract attention. On the very same day, some other acquisitions have gone forward. And so, it's a really interesting time. And the question is big tech hindering innovation, or are they just buying up companies to solidify their position? Are they really hurting innovation? Are they hurting startups? It's not clear what the FTC wants to say here, except that these companies, especially Facebook, Google, and Amazon, really do run down the highway like semi-trailer trucks. It's very hard for anybody to get around them. And so I just think they're undergunned at FTC. As they decided not to sue Facebook over the consent decree and settled for a $5 billion fine, which was very small for Facebook. And so the question, does it have the ability and the staff to do this? This is a big thing, which is kind of, I think it's really bold on their part, but at the same time, it's really difficult to pull off.
Grasso, does it make you rethink any of these names?
Yeah, when Kara was just speaking there, the poster child is going to be Google and Facebook. Those seem to be the ones that could be targeted the most. They've been on both sides of the aisle. They've been targeted. So I think that's that first blush, the knee-jerk reaction. Those seem to be the ones that would probably be in the bullseye zone. If you're a conspiracy theorist, then you're thinking about Amazon.
But how many headlines have we received over the last, year and a half, saying the FTC or the DOJ is looking into these companies, and they're looking at this behavior, and they're looking at that, and they're expanding their investigation, and so far
and a lot of
hasn't
times,
amounted to much.
You're 100% right.
And you've missed the rally.
You've missed the rally, but a lot of times when you look back on it, Google lagged for a long time, and the reason why Google lagged was that it was the focus of these antitrust monopolistic cases that were going forward and all the headlines that we've talked about. So it's been, I think Apple, I agree with Kara, I think Apple has the least to worry about an anti-competitive issue. They already have a competitor called Samsung. So I don't think that anything that they've done could be deemed as anti-competitive.
And we're talking about, smaller deals, right. Allegedly, not the maybe not the Amazon, Whole Foods, or Microsoft, LinkedIn,
it's the ones you haven't heard
WhatsApp.
About.
Right, right. For many of the companies that we've never heard of.
Right.
I don't know Bebo from a doorknob, but the mere fact that the government is allegedly now looking into all this, I think makes you as a tech investor stand up and take notice yet again that what the heck. What's going on?
And I think also when you have a president that uses the stock market as his barometer as to if he's successful or not, I would guess, this is just my own viewpoint, that if you start to see these names that are responsible for the rally start to take the overall market down, I would think to Kara's point, the FTC probably loses a lot of bite.